What is going on, everybody? RonMan coming back at you finally. It's been like, what? How many months has this been? I don't even know. But so today's going to be a lot different. Not a little bit different, but a lot different. So I'm going to start this new thing called Game Talk with RonMan. Now, the reason why is this. I've said this before, and I'll continue to say this. This channel's not going anywhere, okay? This channel's staying right here. But I found that throughout the last year, I've only been able to put out one video, and that was my Double Dragon review, which was fun. I loved working on it. It was great. It was really neat to kind of jump into Double Dragon, 3 different versions of it. But since I became a dad, my daughter was born a year ago this month, and it's been really tough to make videos. I want to, but it's really tough to be able to do that. So today I just thought, well, what if I did like kind of a podcast style video where I just talk? Now, I fully understand that not everyone's going to be into this. Not everyone's going to watch this. That's totally fine. But the point is, I do love doing YouTube. I like interacting with you guys, and this is the only way I'm going to be able to do it for now. Yet another thing too is my job is really tough. So I have a job it's not tough, it's just really busy. And then being a dad, and on top of that, at the end of the night, when I have that little bit of time for me, I don't really want to do a game review because it just takes a lot of work. I just want to play a game rather than I don't want to play a game with the intention of analyzing every little thing and having to look things up and cross-reference everything, write down notes, record gameplay footage and all this different stuff. So it's tough to do that. And so at the end of the day, I just want to play a game. I just want to play some video games, and we'll get into a little bit about what I've been playing lately. But before that, so I just want to finish explaining this. So that's why I want to do this Game Talk with RonMan. I still want to have some sort of an interaction with you guys. I'm still playing games. I'm just not reviewing them right now. I'll get back to that. So I'll get back to reviewing games. I absolutely will, because I just enjoy doing it. And I'm not doing this channel, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I'm not doing this channel for the money. I'm not here for money. I'm not going to start a Patreon. I have a good job. I like what I do. My wife works. That's what we do for money. This channel here is just a hobby channel. I'm not here for money. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to start a Patreon. I'm not going to ask for donations, nothing like that. But the nice thing with that, though, is that this channel doesn't feel like work, but I still want to do something. But it's just doing the game reviews right now it's just a little bit tough. Another thing that happened recently is we sold our last house and we just bought this house. So you might notice I'm in a different game room now. So this is my new game room. It's a little different than before. It's smaller in some ways. Like I lost a wall, but I have a bar over there now. So now I have a bar. So that's pretty cool, but I lost a wall, so that means I have fewer shelves, so I don't have quite as much on display. A lot of it's in a closet over there, but that's totally cool. So this is my new game room, and so that's been, a big thing lately. And in fact, you'll notice my lighting is not as good as it usually is. Well, before I had 2 big, studio lights, and they took up a lot of room, and I kind of hated them for that. So moving forward, I want to buy smaller lights that I can maybe stick to the wall just behind my computer here. So, but I don't have those yet. So there's just a lamp and then some lights on. So that's all I'm doing for lighting for now, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'll get to it, but so anyway, that's what's been going on. I've been a dad. I just moved. Work is busy, and I just don't have the energy to do a game review, but I still want to talk to you guys. And like I said, I'm still playing games, and I still have my opinions and all that stuff. So the channel, again, it's not going anywhere. I'm just a little bit busy, but maybe moving forward I can do like a podcast style. So we'll see what happens. Again, I know that people aren't going to really be into this. Some people won't. I'm sure a few of you will watch this, which is great. So thank you guys. But yeah, this is what it's going to be for now. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what I have been playing. So right now I'm playing Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. It's funny because I've owned the game since I was a teenager, since the GameCube era, and it was actually the first Paper Mario I ever played. But back then, I couldn't stick with it. I wasn't loving it. I got as far as I think it was Chapter 3 with the Rock Hawk, or as I erroneously called him for years, Hawk Hogan. I don't know why, but that's about as far as I got when I was a teenager. And then I just stopped playing the game, and I never looked back. But my beautiful wife just for my birthday about a week ago, she got me Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door for the Switch remake. So I've been playing that, and I'm really into it. Lots of fun. I've beaten all the other Paper Marios. Actually, I don't think I beat Super Paper Mario for the Wii. I think I got to the final dungeon, but just for whatever reason didn't stick with it. But funnily enough, the first Paper Mario I ever beat was the Sticker Star 3DS, and it's the one everybody hates. And I can see why. The combat is atrocious. So I remember hating the combat in that game when I played it, but I liked everything outside of the combat, and that's what kept me playing it. And then I played Color Splash, and it was the same kind of combat. So I hated that also. But again, everything outside the combat was super fun. Origami King, I was really hoping that they would make it like a turn-based combat again. They did something completely different, and I still didn't like it. I thought it was kind of neat. I really appreciated not having to like use stickers or cards as like attacks, because they were like consumable attacks. It was so stupid. But in Origami King, I still didn't like the combat, especially since you didn't gain anything from fighting other than coins. So when I played that game, I tried my hardest to avoid every enemy encounter, and that's a problem. Like when you're playing a game like that, if it's an RPG, you have to get rewarded for combat. Or if it's not an RPG, because you can argue that Origami King's not an RPG. If it's not an RPG, then don't give it turn-based combat. Like, what are you doing? I say that, but I loved Origami King. Again, everything outside of the combat I thought was fantastic. It wasn't an open world game by any means, but it was a lot of the areas were open, and it was really cool. And I liked it did this thing where you had to go around and find little holes in the environment, and you can fill it in with confetti. And Color Splash did the same thing, but with like color. You'd like find like little areas where there'd be like no color, and so you'd whack your hammer and fill it in with some color. So I thought that was cool. But anyway, coming back to Thousand Year Door, yeah, it's an excellent game. Super charming. Loved the graphics. The combat's pretty good. The combat's better than in regular like Paper Mario for N64. Not that it was bad there; it was still good there, but it was way too simple. You know, so it's not quite as simple in Thousand Year Door, but it's still not complex. But I've been playing that. Paper Mario is good. And then actually, just the other day, I got my hands on a Switch 2, which is pretty cool. So I've been playing, I've still been playing Paper Mario, but I've also been playing the new Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's the only game I have so far for the Switch 2 is that Donkey Kong Bonanza. And you know what? That game is great, and I didn't know anything about it coming into it. Like, I didn't watch a single review. I didn't watch any videos. I barely seen any pictures. So I really didn't know what I was getting into, and I'm not going to spoil anything here, by the way. And I started playing the game, and I'm not super sure as to what's happening. Like I don't exactly know what to expect. But once the game really opened up after that tutorial area, I was like, wow, this is incredible. I'll leave it at that. I just don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, that's a really good game. The graphics are beautiful. The music's really good. Everything just works. The controls are great. It's fun. That's the biggest thing. It's fun. So I've been playing that. I recently beat Sekiro, that From Software game. I played it back in 2019, but I couldn't beat it. I got to the final boss, and Ishin, the Sword Saint, and I could not beat him. I just couldn't do it. And you know what? I realized on my second playthrough here, I breezed through the game much more easily. And I think that's because I still have the experience of having played Sekiro like 5-6 years ago. But this time playing through, I made a point to be a lot more aggressive with my approach. Whereas I've played all the Souls games, and so I would play kind of defensively. And you can't play Sekiro like that. And another problem too is there's a guy on YouTube, I don't remember his channel, but he calls himself the Sekiro Guru. I think he means guru, but he calls himself often the Sekiro Guru. And he always talks like, what we whittle do, and he talks like that. The problem with that guy is he has great videos, no disrespect, but like I followed his strategies throughout the game, and I cheesed every boss. Because if you like type in on YouTube like whatever boss for Sekiro, not every, but like most videos are like how to cheese the boss. And so that's how I played my first time through, and that didn't do me any favors. Because by the time I got to the end of the game, I just couldn't, I wasn't good enough to actually play the game. And I struggled heavily. Like I beat almost every boss through cheese. And but on my most recent playthrough, I decided, screw that, I'm just gonna fight how you're supposed to. And it's like it's incredibly tough, and there's a lot of growing pains. But once it clicks, once that game clicks with you, it suddenly becomes easier. you know, knowing how like the deflect, like that's not optional. Like, I mean, technically it is, but like you really should be deflecting as much as you can. But that was a great game. I beat that. Finally was able to scratch that off the bucket list, which was cool. And I also just downloaded on Steam Final Fantasy 16, and I put about 10 hours into it or so, and I'm not loving it. You know what? The game looks great. The story so far is pretty cool. I like that it's medieval, you know, has that medieval theme, but I'm just not into it. I can't really put my finger on it exactly, because nothing that I can point out is bad. It's linear, sure, but like that's okay. Like not every game has to be an open world game, because there are sections where the game will give you a big area and you can just kind of walk around and explore. But just for whatever reason, the game, it doesn't have its hooks into me. I haven't played it in about 2 weeks. I've been playing Paper Mario and then the Donkey Kong, so we'll see. Maybe when I beat those. I've been having a really strong hankering for some Mario lately. Like I feel like once I beat Paper Mario, I might do Mario Sunshine. I've actually never beat Mario Sunshine. I get too angry at that game. I like it because I love the theme and the aesthetic and the setting and all that stuff. Like I love the tropical island. I like Isle Delfino. I like the water theme. I love all that. The worlds are really great. The music's good. It's just the controls are so jank. I get so frustrated with that game that I always give up when I play it. I've given it 3 major attempts throughout my life, and I always end up giving up on it. So maybe I'll jump back into it for a 4th time and you know, try to beat it once and for all. It's just a shame. I have it on the Switch as well as the GameCube. I'll play it on the Switch though, because the controls work better. It's weird because with the GameCube version, I'm pointing over here because my GameCube's hooked up over here. With the GameCube version, you can't adjust the controls. You can't in the Switch version either, but they switched the camera, like they inverted or whatever, I can't remember, but they reversed the controls. So the Switch version has the controls that I prefer, whereas the GameCube version I don't prefer. So, and you can't switch it. So, but maybe I'll jump into that after I'm done Paper Mario and Donkey Kong. I might give Final Fantasy 16 another chance. I was thinking about getting Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, a download on Steam, but I played the remake and really enjoyed it for PS4, but I don't play PlayStation or Xbox anymore. I basically just do Nintendo and then Steam. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade is coming for the Switch too, so I might wait and get it for there, and then I imagine they'll probably do Rebirth for the Switch too. I'm only guessing, so maybe I'll hold off for that, but we'll see. But I do want to play Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for sure. So yeah, that's what I've been playing lately. Oddly, I haven't been playing a lot of retro stuff. Like I guess that's not true. We've lived in this new house for just a little over a month now. About a month and a half, I would say. Almost a month and a half. And once my game room got set up here, I played through the Sonic trilogy for the Genesis. So 1, 2, and then 3 and K. It's so funny. I love Sonic, but like not really. I only love the Genesis Sonic games. And even then, I don't love 3D Blast. But like Sonic after the Sega Genesis, well, Sonic Mania was great. But like, yeah, most Sonic games, I'm like, ugh, I want nothing to do with. If that's if I'm wrong, let me know and tell me what other games. I have Sonic Frontier for the Switch. Maybe I could play that. The neat thing with the Switch too is it seems to be upgrading a lot of Switch titles, so maybe Sonic Frontier will get an upgrade. Who knows? I have no idea. So anyway, that's what I've been playing. What have you guys been playing? Let me know down below. Moving on here, we're not done quite yet for this episode of the podcast, but this other thing I want to talk about, rabbit holes. Every once in a while, I dive down a rabbit hole, and I just, you know, it's just so funny. And the one I've been going through recently is the Chibi Necodemics rabbit hole. You know, so he was a speedrunner. I think he still streams on Twitch, but he basically got told to shut up at a GDQ, and then he made up a lot of bad decisions moving forward, and basically he's just a huge target for like trolling. And then, you know, it got me thinking that, and I know you all know this, but the internet's a really dangerous place, isn't it? Now, I don't live in an online world. Like I don't live in this perpetual state of being online. Some people do. Now, this is not a criticism. If that's what you do, that's totally fine. I'm just saying I don't live like that. So like some people, when they wake up, like they're connected all day to like Twitter and Discord and Reddit and Instagram and all this stuff, and they're part of these communities, and they're always online. That being said, because I don't do that, I don't always know what's going on. But with this guy here, the internet is just such a dangerous place. And I'm not going to make fun of this guy. His name's Adam. Chibi. He doesn't go by Chibi anymore. I think I can't remember, Aquana Shiny something. I'm not going to make fun of this guy whatsoever, but it's just crazy how dangerous the internet can be. Like, this guy makes bad decisions. Don't get me wrong. Like, he made a lot of really dumb decisions, but it's just crazy how people on the internet are just like trolls, man. Trolls are just such awful people. And I mean, there's one thing, like, I'll troll my friends in a lighthearted, funny way. My friends will troll me. It's all good, right? But with the internet, and like, I mean, they were trying to actively ruin this dude's life. Like, it's one thing to kind of giggle at something or just have some innocent fun, but it's just crazy how awful some people on the internet can really be. Now, don't get me wrong, like, Chibi was making all kinds of bad decisions, but, like, for example, he cheated on a speedrun. He cheated on a Paper Mario 1000-Year Door speedrun, and really dumb decision. Like, what are you doing? Like, he wanted to, be held as a pro-tier speedrunner in the community. He wanted the respect and all that stuff, and who doesn't? Who wouldn't want to be respected by their community that they're in? But of course, he made a bad decision by cheating, and he got caught. And it's just like, the way that the trolls handled it, like, he got doxxed over it, and they're sending him pizzas, and I don't know what happens in a situation like that, like if you have to pay for the pizzas or what happens, but like, you're just hurting people. Like, at that point, like, you're just actively willing the bad for other people for no reason, basically for the lols, and it's tough because you have guys like this, and there's many other guys out there, many other people who, they're referred to as lol cows. If you don't know what that term is, look it up. But they're vulnerable, right? Like, they don't really know how to handle these social situations, and they keep making silly decisions, and this gives the trolls something to laugh at. Like, one of the best ways to handle the trolls is just simply not feed them. Don't feed the trolls, and eventually they go away. But some of these people, they don't know to do that, and they give in, and and I get that. Like, I've sometimes had like nasty comments on a video, and then sometimes I just feel like, oh, I could lay a good zinger down. In fact, one of my viewers, I'm so sorry, I don't remember your name exactly, but you've commented on how you like a lot of my replies to people, right? Because a lot of people are stupid. I mean, let's be real here. Like, a lot of people just leave nasty comments. They don't even think about what they're saying. I remember when I did the video about not wanting to play as Zelda in Echoes of Wisdom. I got a lot of hate for that one, by the way. And just in case you were wondering too, I didn't delete the video, but I did mark it as private, just because I was getting so many nasty comments, and I'm just trying to get through. Like, I'm at work and I'm just like doing stuff, and I quickly check my phone because I hear notification, and then it's just some like nasty comment, and I was like, oh man, these people are such losers. So that's why I did that. That's why I made it private, because I just didn't want to have to keep getting distracted by negative comments. But I meant every word I said, by the way. And I did play Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and I beat it, and it's what I thought it was going to be. Didn't love it, but it was okay. So I get it. But anyway, during that, when that video was public, I was arguing with a guy back and forth. There was a few guys. One guy, like, I totally understand where the term NPC comes from as an insult to other people. Because this one guy, he basically just kept repeating himself. I was trying to actually navigate a conversation with him, but he was just like, he just kept like basically repeating himself and ignoring the stuff that I said. And it was just like, I can't get through to this guy. And then that's like, yeah, it's like an NPC where you click on an NPC in a video game and he just says the same thing every time. Like, hi, welcome to this village. Hi, welcome to the, you know what I mean? So there was another guy, and we were talking. He ends up criticizing me, he's like, well, you had to go and inject logic into this conversation. So logic is a funny thing. So besides gaming and being a dad, one of my other hobbies is I don't want to say study philosophy, but I'm interested in philosophy. So I read a lot of like philosophy, Christian philosophy and theology and stuff like that. So, I always try to think logically, because logic is actually not that easy to do, by the way. Like, all of us use logic in some form, but it actually takes a lot of practice to use it all the time and to try to avoid fallacies and different stuff like that. Like, I'll see people comment on my videos and they'll make fallacies. I can't even think of an example off the top of my head. But anyway, this guy it said, here you are just trying to inject logic into this argument. And then my comment back to him was, so you don't use logic? Wait, that was very clear. Obviously you don't. So it's kind of funny. He totally like burned himself, but like people just, it's just crazy. The world, the internet people, like, I think it's because there's this feeling of being disconnected to the person, right? So you get these people who just make stuff up. They talk out of their asses. They say nasty, hurtful things. And with this Chibi case, I mean, this poor guy, he's making bad decisions, but he's constantly trolled. It affects his mom. It affects his life. And then you look at the event at GDQ, and the other speedrunner involved, the guy who told him to shut up, his name's Caveman DCJ, and from what I can tell, he's completely under the radar. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he'll ever come back. If he comes back, he won't be Caveman DCJ, but yeah, like his online career was ruined too, as a result of that, right? Because the guy's probably trying to stream, and people just wouldn't stop coming in there and talking about Chibi, and then you look at videos and people just go and they just like comment the dumb things Chibi would say, like, and that's like the whole comment section is just full of like the dumb things he said and whatever like that. It's just crazy how the internet is, right? Like, it's just such a vicious, volatile place, So, I mean, everyone gets hateful comments here and there, and thankfully I don't really get any. Because I'm not a target. I'm not a lol cow. But yeah, it's just crazy to think about how dangerous the internet is. But I wish Chibi well. He'll never see this video, but it's just tough. I wish I could mentor him on life and just how to avoid making silly mistakes, right? But anyway. Okay, so the last thing for this video before I head out is I would like to end with a Q&A. Of course, this is my first podcast video, so I don't have any questions, but feel free to throw any questions down in the comments, and then when I make the next episode, I will do my best to answer the questions down below. So if that's what you want to do, throw them all down below. It can be anything. It'll be like an Ask Me Anything. Ask me questions about games, about my opinions, and I'll be honest. And or if it's not about games, feel free to ask about that as well. All questions are welcome, so I appreciate that. And that's really all I have today for this podcast. So I don't exactly know what we're going to do for next week's podcast, and I think I might do a weekly. I'm not too sure. Again, we'll see about the kind of time I have, but this is easy enough to film. I just have to set up my camera, turn on the microphone, and just start filming. So anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in to watch this. I know this isn't going to be that busy of a video. I'm sure there are many people who aren't going to care to watch this, but for those of you who are watching this, thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you next time. God bless.